Hi, welcome to 3D Leisure at Home with me, Gail. Going to be doing half an hour Finess Pilates today. So just need a mat, guys, a little bit of space and maybe a drink of water. Just going to be starting doing a little warm up, so breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth throughout if you can. Just not holding the breath is the main thing. Just going to put the light on. It's quite dark today. So we want to start with the feet hip width apart, nice and grounded. So just going to start lifting the shoulders up and focus on like drawing the belly button in, and we lift the shoulders up and crunch and squeeze on your in breath, and then we're going to sink the shoulders down on your out breath. So in breath, lifting, feeling that squeeze, and out breath, pushing down. Taking the arms up on your in breath now, lift and lengthen the spine, and out breath, taking the arms down. In breath, crown of the head lifting, nice flat back, and out breath, down. So you're just going to lift up on in breath, and we're going to reach over on out breath, keeping the shoulder pulling back, and in breath, lifting up, and out breath, reaching across and back. Just let the head drop over as you extend through the fingers on your in breath, out breath back. Nice long stretch and back. So we're going to lift one knee up on your in breath, lifting the arms up together to the front. Focus again, keeping your hips level and just extend, so nice tight tummy. In breath, we lift up, and we're just going to stay here for a couple of seconds, breathing naturally, lifting, getting that long spine, and then on your out breath, we're going to take the knee out and press. In breath, back up, getting your balance. Out breath, keeping the hips level to the front, just the knee pushing back, and we're going to go one more time. Breathing out. And breathing in, and then bring the legs and the arms down. Same on the other side, just get your balance first, so just lifting up, getting that long flat back, belly button in, couple of breaths, natural breathing here, and on your out breath, we're going to press knee out, arms down, in breath, up, out breath, and in through the nose, out through the mouth. We'll go one more time, guys, this side, pressing, bringing it back, and arms and legs coming down. So we're just going to open up the hip joint, so just lifting the knee up and guiding the knee out on your out breath. So in breath and out, in breath and out, changing sides, and just the knee pushes out, but the hips, try and keep the hips facing the front. And one more on this side. So we're going to do a roll down and up. So again, let the head drop forward, chin coming downwards, and on your out breath, just drop and allow the tummy to draw up. You're opening up each vertebrae nice and slowly as you come down to the mat. And if you can't reach, just come to where you can. You can have bent legs if the hamstrings are too tight. And let the head hang. And nice and slowly on your next out breath, we're going to just draw the belly button up and just nice and slowly stack yourselves back up. Roll the shoulders on in breath, squeeze back on out. In breath and out. In breath and out. Ready? Sit nice. Sit nice. And nice and slow. Coming down again. We have a little visitor. Ollie's joined us today. Walking out. You can have your bent legs if you wish. We're walking out into your plank, hands directly underneath the shoulders, pushing the heels back, and if this is too difficult, bring your knees down onto the mat. Just lifting that tight belly button. And from here we're going to lift. You can have your knees on the mat, one knee, and lift if you wish. But we're just reaching up, following the gaze up to the fingertips, coming back down and out breath. In breath, lifting up and out breath. And we'll do that one more time each side, drawing the belly button up extra tight as you come back down into your plank. And nice and high, arms stacked on top of one another. And then we're going to bring your knees down, sit back, bottom onto the heels. If you can, sit back. If you have knee issues, stick a little cushion in between your heels and your bottom. Reach forward with the fingertips, head on the mat. Extend long fingers, give a little stretch. Draw the elbows into centre. And nice slow breathing. Just focus on the breath. As you breathe in through your nose, chest expands. And as you breathe out, allow your body to get heavier. And again, nice slow in breath and out. I'm going to just come onto the knees with the hips pushing forward. So we want to, when we lean back, we're drawing in the belly button. So your hips will be pushing forward. So there's a slight butt squeeze here. Arms are forward, knees hip width apart, toes long. And as you breathe out, you push your hips forward and just sink back. And in breath back up. So if you notice, I'm not leaning back into like a back bend. My back is flat, my hips are pushing forward, and then going nice and deep. So the lower you go and the more you push forward, you'll feel the tingling, maybe in the front of the legs as they work to hold this like static hold once we're back. And again, we're going to stay back this time on your out breath, pushing those hips forward, really stretching, chin is up. If you need a rest, come back up and then come back in, and then bring it up. So we're just going to slide one knee back and lift the chest and push down through the hip, getting that little stretch down the front of the thigh into your hip flexor. And then we're going to just bend the back leg, maybe centre your outer hand for balance, and then you want to lift, squeeze on your out breath, draw the heel to bottom. If it doesn't reach, don't worry, and if you do need to have like a little belt or something to draw your heel in, that's an option if you can't get that heel to bottom. And then we're going to let go, and then we're just going to swap. Bring your knee in and extend your other leg out straight, lifting the chest and pushing down, head forward, feeling the stretch down the front of the other leg now. And then bring the hand over slightly on the outer hand and drawing in. Make sure when you're squeezing your heel in, you're still pushing down with the hip, still lifting the chest, getting the stretch right down the front of the leg into the hip. And then nice and slowly, we're going to let that foot go and bring it back in. And just sit back, hands back, and just relax. A couple of breaths with the arms, palms up. Allowing the back to really open up. And now we are going to work. So we're going to take it into your plank position. Going to come down onto the elbows directly underneath the shoulders. So we're taking one leg back and then the other one, and drawing that belly button up tight. So from here, we're going to push forward onto the toes, back through the heels. If you don't wish to do the forward and back, just stay centre. And if that's too much, you can just stay with the knees on the mat, drawing in the tummy. So we just push, nice tight core. Squeezing, extra tight. And then we're going to bring the tummy down. Keep the elbows directly underneath the shoulders, toes long, and pretend you're drawing back the mat, elbows drawn back towards your waist, and head looking forward. Try and rest the glutes, relax off your glutes, just working to draw back. Shoulders, space from between the top of the shoulders and the ears. And from there we're going to come back up into our plank. So we're going to be riding side to side, guys. We did it last week, I think, so we push out the hip to the side, but it's not a drop down of the hip, it's pushing level. So you come onto your elbows. If you need extra protection under your elbows, then just double up your mat maybe, or you can put a cushion under there. So we just into your plank position. And from here, we push out and out breath, back in centre, other way, out breath and in, out breath and in, out and in. So think of like a pencil underneath the hips, and you're just gliding along in a straight line. And last time, and again, have a little stretch, draw back, shoulders, relax off your glutes. Couple of breaths here. And then we're going to do a push up. So we're going to push up into a full arm and then back onto elbows. On your out breath, you push up, and in breath, you come down. Try and push up on maybe opposite hand each time so that you're working both sides the same. And if you can't do that from your toes, bring your knees down onto the mat and keep going with that. If you need a rest as well anytime, just take your rest. So we're up in our elbow plank, bottom down, tummy up. And we breathe out and we push up. And breathe in and come down. Try and control so you're not rolling from the hips too much. The belly button is drawn in extra tight. And you breathe out and push up. And breathe in and come down. Breathe out and push up. And in and down. And rest. Again, drawing back, giving a little stretch in between, working into the back, squeezing back. So we're doing core, then back, then core. And from here, guys, we are going to try and do a couple of press ups. So we're going to come up and then just dropping the chest down on your in breath and pushing up on your out breath. You can be from knees, you can be from toes. So we're going to come up into your full arm and dropping down on your in breath, pushing up on your out. Breathing in and breathing out. Knees, if this is too difficult, in breath and out. Step back, little stretch from your child pose. Fingers forward, active arms. And then we're going to put that together. So I think we'll do 4 of each, 4 sets. So we'll start off just with the forward and back, and then we'll go into the hips pushing out to the side, and then we'll do up and downs. So we'll start on our elbow plank, bottom down, pushing forward and back, forward and back. So really squeeze that belly button up. We've got one last time, centre it and then push out to the side, out breath and in, out breath and in. We'll push. We've got 2 more to go after this one. So breathing out, pushing out, breathing in, breathing out. Last one each side. And then we're going to push up on out breath and in. Pushing up, out breath and in. Keep pushing. And again, last one. And then we're going to do your press up. So this can be knees or toes. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in and out. 2 more, guys. Well done. Okay, so we're now going to be taking it into like a full arm plank. So we're just going to reach up as we did earlier on, up to the side, back down. So from your full, if you have wrist issues, then you might want to be on your elbows. So we're just lifting again. So stacking up the shoulders and back down. So this can be from your knees and lift. In breath and out. In breath and out. Hold your plank. From here we're going to lift one leg. So breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, opposite leg and out. In breath and out. In breath and out. Holding the plank. Nice tight tummy. As you lift this time, push down the chest. Leg nice and high. Shoulders level, bend the heel to bottom. Lift the knee out. And hold this. Breathe. Take that leg down. Back into your plank. Lift the other leg, push down through the chest. So we're flattening, nice long spine. Heel to bottom, lifting the knee out. Chest level and bring it back down. And again, sit back. Maybe relax the hands to the side now. Couple of breaths. And again, allowing your body to get heavy on your out breath. And in breath, relax. And again. So we're now going to lift the leg behind. So you take your left leg up and then bring the knee in between the 2 hands, sliding forward. So we'll do centre. Then we'll go to outside your elbow and back, then diagonal outside the other elbow or towards. So we're going to reach back 1 foot, then the other one, head in line with your spine. In breath, pushing up the leg down the chest. Then out breath, coming between the knees. In breath and out breath. Outside, in breath and diagonal. We'll come back to centre on our last one, I think, through the elbows, through the centre, and then we'll transfer this weight now back into the plank onto the other side. So do exactly the same, standing back, tummy up, bottom down. Lift on in breath, push down with the chest, and out breath, draw the knee under, centre. in breath, push, and out breath, outside, in breath, push, out breath, diagonal, and last time, bring the knee under, through the centre, well done. Sit back, rest the hands back, palms up, and recover with a couple of breaths. So we're going to come up onto our sit bones. So again, you can have a double mat if you have a hard floor, and then just work around what feels good for your body. If you start to feel it's hurting through the joints, a little bit extra padding. So we're gonna just lean back with our flat back, so we lift the chest, draw the belly button in, feet hip width apart, legs bent, arms forward, and lift the chest. And then on your out breath, we're going to lean back and hold. Breathing naturally here. And if you want to take it a little bit lower, this will make it a lot harder, is if you slide back. I'm going to take this into hips up and a curved back. So you'll see the difference from the flat back to the curve. So we're rolling back now with the hips up, and we're going down on each out breath, holding on in and coming up, giving a little stretch. Lift the chest on your in breath, squeeze the shoulders back, out breath. So good to stretch the spine, head down, feel it down the back of the neck. And in breath, squeeze, and out breath, roll. All is totally chilled. Relaxing with this music. In breath, and out. Stay, couple of breaths here. And then we're going to do our leg lift. So we want to tap opposite, so we want to tap toe and hip and back down. So breathe out and in. If it's too difficult, then you can take the hand back onto the mat. But we're trying to just tap, so hip and toe, breathing out and in. Just a twist. Twist. Squeeze that belly button down extra tight. 2 more. And give a stretch up on in breath, squeeze the shoulders. Breathe out, chin down. In breath, stretch. And out breath, squeeze. And then we're going to take it into our one straight leg, one bent leg. And again, if the hands are behind, it'll be a lot easier. If the hands are stretched forward, so it's just the fingertips resting on the floor, it'll be harder. So we're just going to lift the leg off the floor. If this gets too difficult, then you can just stay with the leg maybe on the ground, not leaning back as low. If you lift the leg off the floor, you'll instantly feel that working harder onto your hip flexor. If it's only on the hip and your hip is weak, then you might want to just kind of help with a couple of fingers to lift this leg. And then we're going to lift this leg, breathing out and in. So the upper body is staying still. I'm not doing an in and out. I'm just working to squeeze down the belly button as I lift this leg. And hands behind will make it easier. if you feel your hip flexor is too weak, then you can maybe just help and have a rest, little stretch, in breath and breathing out. And then we come on to the other leg, slide back, lift that leg, and then out breath and in, out breath and in. So we breathe out through the mouth, in through the nose, squeeze the belly button extra tight, and rest. Give a little stretch, give a little roll, and then we're going to take the legs up to tabletop. So taking the legs up, reaching up, tummy down extra tight. If it's too much, take the feet back onto the mat or take the hands behind. I'm going to breathe out and in, out and in, lifting one leg, so out breath and in. Coming back to 90 each time with the legs. Tummy tight. And a little rest. In breath, squeeze. Out breath, roll. And we're going to come back and lift the legs again to tabletop. And your options, hands behind, onto the mat. And excellent. If you can lift these legs, breathe out and in, slow. Out and in. Breathe out and in. Last one. Well done. So you're just going to slide down, lie down onto the mat. We're just going to do a couple of twists for the obliques. So breathing out, pushing the shoulder and the chest over. In breath back, out breath and in, out breath. And you can lift if you wish on this leg. So we breathe out, opposite knee and elbow. Breathing out and in. And if you want to take the legs up, extend and back. Pushing away one leg and back. Still getting the curl, the twist, and the legs higher will be slightly easier, and the legs lower will be harder. So we push, and then we're going to speed that up today. So we're on in breath and out, in breath and out. Doing so good. Working it today. Squeeze, squeeze, twist. In breath and out. And hugging. Lift the head, put it back down nice and flat. Hug your knees in. And then we're going to hold below the knees and just do little circles with the knees coming right down to each part of that sacrum. And then going back the other way. Nice circles, easing off the lower back. Couple of hugs in, and then we're going to just do our rolls. So we're going to tap and roll and tap and roll and tap. So I'm going to slide forward here so that I can get enough space. I'm going to take the legs up and then back. So if you feel you want to stay with the hands supporting your hips here, you can do that and aim to get the toes down, nice and slow. Hands can be on the mat if you wish. I'm trying to breathe, bring the feet down and stay and have a couple of breaths. Making that harder when we turn the toes down and push. And from there we're going to bring it back. You might want to support your body and then bring it down nice and slow. into your roll, stretch out, push the small of the back into the mat, and breathe, sink down in your out breath, toes and fingers long, and we're going to bring the knees back in and drop both the knees to one side. Taking it from tabletop will be harder, so we're just taking the arms out and dropping the knees down. Look away from your knees, hand on to press, increase that stretch from your outer thigh, up your lower back, mid back, knees up higher, bigger stretch. And nice and slowly bring it back. You might want to kind of centre your bottom, dropping the knees down the other way, and look away from your knees. Press if you want a bigger stretch. Knees up and press, out and on. Nice slow breathing. Bringing the knees back up. Hooking under the knees to bring yourself back up to seated. Extend out straight legs. Breathe in, lift. Push forward on out breath, flat back. In breath, lift. Fold forward on out breath. A couple of breaths, you can move the sit bones back. Ease yourself over and allow your head to drop. Feel that stretch down the spine, down the neck. Push down lower. And then on your out breath, roll up nice and slow, crossing the legs to the front, guys. Couple of minutes over, I apologise. Out breath, push out. In breath, hold. Out breath, push out and drop the head down. Taking the hands, interlock your fingers behind the head, allow the elbows to close in and drop to tease that head forward. If it's too much, take the hands away, just drop your head. Lifting back up the head, taking the arms behind, breathe out, push away and lift. Create space between the top of the shoulders, don't let the shoulders lift. Higher. And then stretching out the neck to finish. Head over towards your shoulder, push the palm or the fingers down into the mat on the opposite side. Couple of breaths. Changing sides, drop the head and on your out breath, push down. Taking it back, little twist, hand on, lift the chest, hands behind on in breath. Look back on out breath. Any neck pain, keep the head side on. Changing size. Last in breath, lift the chest and out breath, twist. Bringing it back, big deep breath in, nice long spine and breathe out. In breath and out breath, and thank you very much for joining me today. Go on to have a fabulous weekend, guys, and take care, stay well and enjoy the weather. We're going to have sunshine. Bye.